Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, with the next coin in the ongoing series from the Germania Mint. Let's explore! Indeed, the Germania Mint has created one of the most interesting and unique series produced by mints today, and this is the next feature in that series. We're going to take a step back before we take a look at this piece that was sent to me for review from the Germania Mint. Starting in 2019, the Germania Mint kind of took the world by storm with a series of products that they had released starting that year. And this Allegories series is quite intriguing, and it continues here, but it started with the Britannia and Germania pieces in 2019, as well as the Colombia and Germania Mint 1 ounce silver. And they're not only in 1 ounce, but they also have done something unprecedented. They have created several different size variations, in other words, weights, with the exact same diameter, with limited mintage for all products. And these range in size from 1 ounce, which has a mintage of 25,000 pieces, to the 2 ounce, which has a very limited mintage of 2,500 pieces, the 5 ounce at 500, and 10 ounce at 250. That's crazy low mintage for these. And in 2020, the Allegories contained the Italia and Germania. Beautifully done, well crafted with these. Well, in 2021, we have the latest here, and that is the Austria and Germania 1 ounce silver, and that is what you're looking at right here. Very, very nicely done indeed. This is very well crafted by the Germania Mint with the familiar packaging that we have come to love from Germania Mint here. And we're going to actually pull this out of the packaging, but before we take a look at that, let's take a look at the certificate of authenticity. Again, this comes in the familiar sizes, and that the Germania Mint is known, and it is their certificate of authenticity. It has a very much a continuation of the same quality and look that we've seen in past releases here. Limited to 25,000 pieces, the 1 ounce size, so the flagship size for these. And it has a familiar diameter, which we all are aware of, 38.61, which is pretty common for some of these bullion pieces, but this is what I would refer to as better bullion or collectible bullion. And these are now available, as I record this video, from several different bullion dealers. You probably have seen them. It is 4/9 fine silver, and for the year 2021, with a fantasy face value of 5 mark. So this is definitely more considered a medallion or round, because that denomination does not exist. But out of the area of Germania, this is part of what makes it so kind of cool and unique in my view, because it has that that denomination there. But it is beautifully done. As you can see, this is the reverse here with the shield for Germania. Beautifully done. I love the background texture. Very unique and inspiring here. Very well done. It has a reeded edge, as is always the case here for Germania Mint products. And on this side, the obverse, we can see the two lovely ladies, Italia or Austria and Germania. Austria and Germania is the theme here for what these are about. And this is essentially, as we inspired by the power of femininity, it was created this impressive series of coins, Allegory, to highlight the extraordinary characters of the mothers of nations. And it's the female personification of Germany, this is who Germania is, and accompanied by the personifications of other countries in the Western world. The first female incarnations of nations were usually majestic manifestations of values considered characteristics of the communities of given countries or regions. Many of the visualizations were derived from the images of the goddess Athena and adopted by Latin names of ancient Roman provinces such as Germania, Polonia, Britannia, and Italia. For hundreds of years, for unknown reasons, women have been viewed as the weaker sex, often unnoticed and underestimated. Women were forced to believe that they should obey men. Even so, the national incarnations and country names are mostly female. The country, as a metaphor for home and family, has always been equated with maternal care and ensured security and a sense of community. Although it is still mostly men who are world leaders at times of wars and disasters, people symbolically turn to mothers of nations. That's what the idea of liberty is usually represented by a woman. But there we go. So beautifully done. Love that background. And this case is the first time where the women are actually seated. So Austria and Germania are seated here in this representation. And so it's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. Usually we see them standing and some sort of connected, holding hands or what have you, in partnership, or a hand resting on their shoulder. But in this case, they are seated with their hands connected there. Very, very interesting, beautifully done, wonderfully designed indeed, for the different varying coins here, or fantasy coins in this case. And so we can see here that on this obverse we have the personifications of Austria and Germany. As young, beautiful women, Miss Austria was considered to be the epitome of multi-ethnic country, In the artistic vision of the mint, Germania holds a spear and symbolizes the axis of the world. Wow. Power, dignity, and honor. The Austrian woman's head is decorated with a laurel wreath that we can see there, a symbol with multiple positive meanings, while Germania is topped with an oak branch, a tree that has accompanied her since the beginning of the series. Our heroine, in turn, holds her inseparable attribute, the imperial sword Reichsschwert. The closeness between the two Germanic Amazons symbolizes the friendship between both cultures. It's very, very nicely done here. And of course, as was the case for the previous years, the image of the verse of the coat of arms representing the moral principles and noble values. Germania was a historical land and was never an official state. We decided to create our own interpretations of its coat of arms. Its symbolism and appearance are a figment of our imagination from Germania Mint. So that's pretty cool. Well, I think they did a great job with this for sure, and created in accordance with the applicable rules of the heraldry. The shield and the crown has been divided into 4 parts, each of which has its own traditional meaning, precisely defined by the heraldry. The shield itself is a symbol of truth, loyalty, and trust. The crown is a symbol of power, nobility, and chivalry. The visualization of Germania Mint shows a double-headed eagle, a symbol from Roman mythology associated with Janus, the god of all beginning, guardian of doors, gates, passages, and bridges, patron of contracts and alliances. Heads turned in opposite directions symbolize the past and the future. The pattern of the trellis refers to wisdom and prudence. And the gold ribbon with 3 flowers. Flowers represent the values that determine a strong and independent nation: unity, integrity, and freedom. And then the boar. The boar is a symbol of power, as it was a very popular and respected animal in the Roman Empire. Legio I Italia and Legio X Fortensis and Legio XX20 Valeria Victrix are 3 of the most famous Roman legions with a boar in their emblem. The coat of arms is surrounded by a wreath of oak leaves. You've seen oak being featured in Germania Mint products as well in the past. The wreath symbolizes loyalty, stability, and national unity. In mythology in ancient times, it could only be worn by people who wielded great power, spirit, muscle, or magic. All values represented by the above symbols are respected by Germany and Austria. So I think it's a fascinating series indeed, and this comes in a nice acrylic plastic capsule here, we can see. And of course the packaging that is most commonly associated with Germania Mint products. So very interesting indeed. I want to thank Germania Mint for sending this along to me for review. And again, these are available now at some of them at the familiar bullion dealers that you would commonly find for Germania Mint products. Very well done indeed. And pleased to be able to add this here to the collection. And it'll be very interesting to see what comes next from Germania Mint with the Allegories series. What hasn't been shown yet? Well, we know Polonia, and I'm sure others will be coming soon. So stay tuned for those. I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch this video, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.